Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Precious Metal Summit here in Zurich, Commodity TV, and with me here is Greg Crowe, the CEO of Silver One Resources. Good morning.
Good morning, Johan.
Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. Good to be back here in Zurich.
Absolutely. It's still a bit early in the morning, but let's dive into your lovely company. I think the last time we spoke in January.
Yes, at the Cambridge conference in Vancouver.
Yeah, and a lot of good things happened so far. Maybe you can elaborate a bit.
Yeah, I think at the time we were just finalizing our acquisition of the Candelaria project, which we acquired from Silver Standard. Now, when I say acquired, we have a 3-year option to complete before we fully acquire it, but we're well on the way to doing that. And a lot of developments have happened since then. We've now evaluated the project, and we have applied for a permit because there's 3 aspects to the project. The first one is the evaluation of the old heaps. They still contain, based on the inferred estimate, which is historic now, but they still contain about 40 grams of silver. And these are just sitting on the surface. So we're going to be drilling those, and we've just received permit from the BLM to proceed with drilling, and we hope to be drilling those by the end of this month.
Fantastic.
Now, the drilling will only take maybe 4 or 5 weeks maximum, and then after that we'll proceed to metallurgical testing. And the whole goal is how much silver can still be recovered from these old heaps, because the historic resource is estimating about 48 million ounces of silver sitting on those heaps at 40 grams
and I
per
mean,
ton.
that's on surface. It's like just dig it out, right?
Yes, and the operating costs, of course, will be much lower because there's no mining involved. It's already sitting there, okay? Now, this is important in the sense that Candelaria historically was the richest silver producer. And between the mid-1800s and the mid-1900s, it produced on average 1,250 grams per ton silver. Now, it went into open pit operation in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, so that grade came down. But they did process that material on the heaps, and it's still sitting there waiting. The other 2 opportunities, of course, are when Silver Standard in 2002 did a large drill program. They outlined some very high-grade intercepts at depth. For instance, 13.7 meters of 670 grams per ton silver.
Still a lot, I would say.
Right. So that's a target that we want to go after.
Yeah.
And it continues down dip from there. And we don't know what's there. So those are targets to be drilled. On top of that, along strike, outside the area of the 2 pits, there's been no work done since the pre-1950s. And we still see all of the old historic workings with good silver grades.
Fantastic.
So that's another target.
Yeah. So to my understanding, that means you would like, let's assume metallurgy results are good, drill results are good. You want to install something like a processing plant, I would call it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Then start to make some money, and then to step out and go further out to the exploration.
Or doing a
targets, right?
combo of a little bit of exploration while we're developing this processing unit, and this processing unit that we're envisaging, and we won't know for sure until, of course, we get into the full studies, be it pre-feasibility, be it a feasibility study. But what we're envisaging is some sort of vat leaching system, and then processing that, and then extracting the silver through a Merrill-Crowe circuit at the end, and producing a silver doré. And that's for the upper levels oxide ore, which is essentially which was mined in the past.
Is it pure silver, or is there anything else associated?
A little bit of gold, but not enough to make it, shall we say, economically interesting from a gold viewpoint. However, the gold will offset some costs.
Of course, that's always good. Offset some costs always helps.
Yes, exactly.
Great. When we talk about costs, let's say the whole work program costs money. Do you have the money in the bank already for that?
Yes. When we originally went and started the company, this has only been trading just over a year now. Okay, so we started the company. We did a 2.5 million Canadian raise at the time. Probably have just over $1 million left in the treasury. But just last week we announced the closure of a $4.3 million financing as well. So we are well financed for the next year and a half, and we'll be able to complete this. Complete the metallurgical testing, and then start down the road with respect to a study to determine, are we going to proceed to a production decision.
Great. Can you give us already, let's say, a little bit of a flavor what you might produce then per annum? I mean, I know it's way too early, but I would say you must have a game plan or something in your mind.
Well, again, we don't have a study. Yeah. So we can't really say what it is, but there are similar situations around that are producing 1 million or 2 million. That seems to be a number, ounces per year.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
These seems to be the numbers that you're seeing in some of the Mexican silver mines and things like that are doing leaching operations, etc. So that would be a goal. Yeah. Can we achieve it? Well, let us do our studies.
Absolutely. No, first you have to prove it, but just to give our viewers a little bit of an idea of what we are talking about. Because, I mean, when you process those old heap leach dumps or storages, I would call it, I mean, the AIC must be well below the $10 because it's not real mining like,
Well, and the other thing, and again, that will come up in the study. But the other thing that's important to understand as well, what are the other two opportunities?
Exactly.
Because we're going to start with the heaps. Okay, that's the plan. And for the metallurgy it worked out, we're going to start with the heaps. But on top of that, we're doing the exploration. And if it looks interesting, then because the vat leaching system is a modular, expandable type system, we can bring in the hard rock. And a lot of the drilling that was done by Silver Standard was just on the northern margins of the existing pits. So we know there's a lot of mineralization still sitting there. So if we can incorporate...
Waiting for you.
Waiting for us. So if we can incorporate that in with the leach processing, then we can actually bring the average grade up. Now, costs will go up a little bit because you're going to be doing some mining. But again, studies will tell us.
And I think also if, let's say, the whole process is modular, you mustn't invest all the money up front. You can build it by maybe out of the cash flow then.
Exactly. That's the plan.
Fantastic. That sounds to me like a great plan, Greg. Thank you very much on that, and all the best. And I think we speak PDAC latest.
PDAC, I will be there.
Definitely. Super. See you there. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it was Greg Crowe from Silver One Resources. And you heard it, a great threefold plan, I would call it. And also what I like is, of course, first of all, they have to do some homework, that's for sure. But this will be like in the next 3 to 4 or 5 months, everything should be done. And they can hopefully start with the first processing from the old heap leaches. And I think with this strategy to build the stuff modular, that's also fantastic because you don't need the capex completely upfront and you can build a lot of stuff then hopefully out of the cash flow. So check out the company. Thanks for watching us. Bye-bye from Zurich.